Morning, everyone. We have preliminary information for the fatal shooting that occurred earlier this month, or this morning, sorry. This is an ongoing investigation, and the information and evidence are still being gathered. This is what we can release at this time. Yesterday afternoon, HPD officers located the suspect wanted in three bank robberies that were committed earlier this month. Officers observed a male matching the suspect's description that entered a Waikiki condo, and they were able to confirm that the suspect was in one of the condos and armed. Officers began evacuating nearby residents around 8 p.m., and crisis negotiations attempted to speak with the suspect, who barricaded himself in the unit. Over the next several hours, the suspect refused to communicate with our negotiations by phone. At one point, the suspect pointed a firearm at a drone that was deployed outside the condominium. Today, around 4 a.m., Specialized Services Division officers who were positioned outside the unit deployed several less lethal chemical canisters and rounds into the unit over a period of time. The suspect exited the unit and pointed his firearm at the officers, at which time the officers fired and fatally shooting the suspect. No other individuals were injured. The suspect's name will be released by the medical examiner's office after positive identification has been made. I'll take your questions at this time.
To be clear, police knew that he was the suspect before this whole barricade situation started?
They knew he was the suspect, yes, and he was located in the condominium in a specific unit, barricaded himself in the bathroom.
Was that his unit, or was somebody else with him?
It was not his unit. That's still under investigation as to who knew that he was wanted or what he had done. So we're still working through that. There were people in and out of apartments, or that apartment, yes.
So there were other people there when this
Not at the time, no.
Oh, no.
Was there any chase or anything to lead up to this?
No, there was no chase leading up to this.
Can you say what type of weapon he had?
He had a small firearm, handgun, resembling a Glock 17 or something like that.
What happened to the officers in this situation?
So the 4 officers that discharged their weapon are provided an opportunity for administrative leave over for a 3-day period, and so we afford that to them.
Did they take it? Sorry.
I don't know if they take it. It's still under investigation. They're still report writing and doing other things, so at some point we will offer that to them.
Can you say what specific banks the 3 banks were?
There was 2 in the Windward side, American Savings Bank, and 1 in Pearl City. It was a business financial, but not a normal bank that I know of. It has a different name. I think it's a Commonwealth Business Bank or something like that.
Do you know how much was stolen in those robberies?
No, that I don't know.
How does HPD want these types of situations to end?
Peacefully. We want the individual. That's why we try to negotiate. We send a crisis negotiation team down there. We have officers who knock on the door to try to ask the individual to come out. The crisis negotiation tries to gain contact. That's why we pass phone to the individual. And that way is to talk them out of the situation so it ends peacefully. That's the way we prefer these to end. Unfortunately, the suspect chose to end the situation the way he did.
When you said they located him, so were they following him? Did they have a warrant for him? Were they following him?
They weren't following him, but they had information of where he might be. I don't know if there was an active warrant. I'd have to find out more on that. But I know we were working towards that and working with our federal partners because these were financial institutions.
Were there federal agents there?
No, there were not.
So it sounds like he was a career criminal, would you say? Did he have a background, a history of?
Yes, he had a history, a long history of, yeah, and you can talk to Michelle after. She can provide that information.
Explain the use of the drone in situations like this.
So the use of the drone is an apparatus or device that allows us to see into a unit to help our officers understand, what the unit looks like. So if we ever have to make a dynamic entry, then we would know kind of what's going on. We also confirmed that the individual is armed because he pointed the firearm at the drone at one point in time. So that confirmed the suspicions that he was armed. it helps us just to get a better information on what's going on and what the layout of the apartment is.
The drone is strictly surveillance visual.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not an armed drone, if that's what you're thinking.
Why
Sir.
did you do it at that time of the day?
Well, it started from early evening, around, well, late evening, depending on how you look at it, around 8 p.m., is when the incident started to unfold as a barricade. It goes back to the earlier question. We'd like these to end peacefully. It takes quite a long time. There's a plethora of things that we need to accomplish in between, the point of either entry or the individual coming out. And so we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make this as peaceful as possible, the ending. And the individual to afford him time to make a decision and how to reach that decision to come out peacefully. So that's why, unfortunately, it takes a long time.
Were you waiting for him to get tired or something?
That's an opportunity. That's a course of action. If the individual falls asleep, that provides, surprise on our part to do something if we so choose.
The canisters, were they flashbangs?
These were not flashbang. They were pepper spray or OC spray, and I think CS at some point.
Canisters?
Yes,
they threw
canister,
them.
yeah.
Was there body cam footage of any of this?
No, there's not. There is video that's available. We are working through the investigative process to obtain the video.
Where would that video have come from?
That would come from individual apartments within there, which if they have a device on their door or not.
And why didn't the officers in this situation have body cameras?
There's operational requirements why we don't put body-worn camera on Specialized Services Division personnel because of the tactics and techniques that they use. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
Oh, Chief, quick question about, I was supposed to ask about if any of that, the outage of that outage thing, internet thing.
The internet-
You know what I'm talking
You're so
about?
smooth.
I know, I forgot about it.
It did not impact the Honolulu Police Department that I know of.
Okay.
My computer was operating when I came in this morning.
And dispatch too?
Yes, it was no impact to us. Okay, thank you.